Jared, and Jay. Few things in life are as amazing as seeing a flock of geese in the V formation. This is an example of geese in the V formation. While I have been a fisherman, a camper, and a hiker, I have seen geese and ducks in the wild. When I've gone hunting for ducks, you often have to use a duck call to get the ducks into shooting range. So now I will show you the use of a duck call. And as you can see, because I'm not too good at it, many people now don't ask me to go hunting with them because I often make the birds go away instead of making them come towards us. After hearing about the significant loss of geese and ducks in the wild, I have looked into what I can do to help this situation. Many of us have heard the unforgettable call of geese flying south for the winter and know that winter is coming. It has been made apparent to me that ducks and geese nesting habitats need to be preserved and protected. I want to help you understand the following three main points. Nesting habitat is in trouble. Dwindling habitat is producing a low hatch rate. Low populations are compounded by problems inflicted by nature. First main point. The nesting habitat of the migratory waterfowl is at a low point in history. The farmers in the north, midwestern United States, and southern Canada are draining the ponds to plant crops and increase their profitability. The wetlands are being filled and bulldozed to make suitable ground for housing development because of the growing population. An article in the Encyclopedia Encarta confirms some populations of wild ducks are threatened by their loss of wetland habitats resulting from pollution and from drainage from housing developments. So now let's see how the destruction of these nesting grounds is resulting in a lower hatch rate. Second main point. As a result of poor nesting conditions and overcrowding in these areas, the duck and geese population are declining. From the internet comes an article. The Waterfowl Resource states that in order to sustain a stable duck population, 30% of hatchlings must hatch, and in this study, only 8% were hatching. Let's now take a look at what other problems are presented in the nesting habitats. Third main point. The wild ducks and geese don't have enough nesting problems from nature without additional problems inflicted by mankind. Predators such as foxes are now taking eggs from the nest, and occasionally drought, which causes poor water, also affects the hatch of ducklings. So now let's see how mankind can solve these problems. Work is being done right now through organizations such as Ducks Unlimited, but there's a lot more work to be done before the preservation of these wild animals can be assured. Also, the United States Fish and Wildlife Services is in charge of protection and restoration of migratory species of wildlife. However, due to politics and big money lobbyists in the timber industry, many times these observations are often overlooked. There are local conservation groups who want to stop this type of ongoings. According to the November 29, 1998 issue of the Austin American-Statesman newspaper, an article described the efforts made by the Austin Woods and Waters Club. Organizations such as these need your support in order to be assured that the amazing migration of these birds is preserved. Now let's look at several things that you can do to make sure that these visual reminders of nature and seasons stay with us. The Ducks Unlimited organization needs your encouragement and financial support. An example of their work appears in the Ducks Unlimited magazine. It states that their #1 conservation project was to preserve the Big Grass Marsh, a 40,000 acre marsh west of Longruth Lake in Manitoba, Canada. And this is a picture of that marsh in Canada. Former President of the United States, George Bush, said, join Ducks Unlimited and be a part of a better tomorrow. Few groups do more for wildlife than Ducks Unlimited. Also in the United States Fish and Wildlife Services would be encouraged by your letters to do the right thing in order for the preservation of these wetland nesting areas. Finally, you can purchase a federal duck stamp available at your local sporting goods store. These are also purchased by law-abiding legitimate hunters, and all of this money will go to the proceeds of the ducks and geese. Here's an example of that stamp. So let's review the three main points. The nesting habitat is significantly reduced from human encroachment. Without necessary habitat, hatch rate of offspring is declining. The population of ducks and geese are also affected by natural inflictions. Call to action. Ducks Unlimited program reaches from the Arctic tundra to the tropical wetlands of Mexico and South America. We are restoring native grasslands in the Great Plains, restoring bottomland hardwood fresh forest in the lower Mississippi River Valley, protecting and enhancing the Chesapeake Bay wetlands, and protecting and improving wetlands habitats in the Central Valley of California and coastal plains of Texas. You can contribute to these organizations by becoming a member online for only $35, and also purchase a Ducks Unlimited stamp, and also write a letter to the United States Wildlife and Fishery Department explaining to them why you want to preserve the migratory species of the geese and the ducks. Our ancestors all the way back to the cavemen have marveled at the yearly migration of the waterfowl. And here's a picture of the waterfowl. As stated in the book of the Atlas of Bird Migration, throughout the ages, people have watched this mysterious phenomenon and marveled at the distances traveled, feats of endurance and unfairly navigational accuracy that lands generations of birds back to their breeding grounds and winter homes. So let's make sure that our generation is not the last generation to see this migratory process. Thank you.